You commit a crime, the police dust for prints. They find one, a single clear fingerprint lifted from the scene. The forensics team runs it through the database, and then they hit a wall. Because the print does not belong to any human, it belongs to a koala. That is not a joke. It has actually happened. Koala fingerprints are so similar to human fingerprints that even trained forensic experts have struggled to tell them apart. And the reason why might be one of the most beautiful accidents in the history of evolution. Let us start with what you already know. Your fingertips are covered in tiny ridges. Whorls, loops, arches, you have had them since before you were born. They formed around the 10th week of your mother's pregnancy, pressed into your skin by the fluid that surrounded you in the womb. No two people on Earth have ever been found to share the same fingerprints, not even identical twins. Your prints are yours alone. Now here is the part that sounds completely fake. A koala, a marsupial that lives in eucalyptus trees in Australia, eats toxic leaves, sleeps 20 hours a day, and is about as closely related to you as a horse, has fingerprints that are virtually identical to yours. In 1997, Dr. Macy Henneberg, a biological anthropologist at the University of Adelaide, published a landmark study in the Journal of Forensic Sciences. She examined koala fingerprints under electron microscopy and compared them side by side with human fingerprints. The result was startling. The ridge patterns were so similar that, in some cases, experts could not reliably determine whether the print had come from a human hand or a koala paw. Let that sink in. An animal that split from your evolutionary line over 160 million years ago, back when dinosaurs still roamed the Earth, independently invented the same fingerprint pattern you carry on your hands right now. How is that possible? The answer lies in a concept called convergent evolution. It is what happens when two completely unrelated species face the same problem and arrive at the same solution independently. Wings evolved separately in birds, bats, and insects. Eyes evolved independently over 40 different times across the animal kingdom. And friction ridges, those tiny raised lines on your fingertips, evolved at least twice in mammals, once in primates, and once in koalas. The problem both species needed to solve was grip. Primates needed to grasp branches, tools, and food. Koalas needed to cling to the smooth, slippery bark of eucalyptus trees. Eucalyptus bark is unusual. It peels away in long strips and leaves behind a surface that is almost polished. A koala spends its entire life climbing up and down these trees, sometimes leaping between them at heights that would kill it if it fell. Without something to hold on with, it would not survive. So over millions of years, evolution shaped tiny ridges on the koala's paws. Ridges that create friction the same way your fingerprints let you open a jar or grip a pen. The structure is so effective that it was copied, independently, without any shared blueprint, by two lineages that had not shared a common ancestor since the age of the dinosaurs. But here is what makes this even stranger. Koala fingerprints are not just similar to human fingerprints in some vague, general sense. They are similar in the specific, detailed, forensic sense. Both have whorls, both have loops, both have arches, both form during fetal development inside a fluid environment. Both are unique to the individual. No two koalas share the same prints, just like no two humans do. Dr. Henneberg's team found that when koala prints were mixed into a set of human prints, trained fingerprint analysts could not always pick them out. The resolution required to distinguish them was at the absolute edge of what 1990s forensic technology could handle. Even today, the differences are measured in fractions, slightly different ridge spacing, minor variations in pattern density. But to the naked eye, or even under standard magnification, a koala print could pass for a human one. This is not just a quirky footnote in a biology textbook. It has real consequences for forensic science. In Australia, there have been documented cases where crime scene investigators found mysterious prints at scenes of break-ins and thefts, prints that matched no human in any database. The culprit in at least some of these cases turned out to be local wildlife. A koala that had wandered through an open window or climbed across a ledge left behind prints that looked, under initial analysis, disturbingly human. And the story goes deeper still. In 2009, researchers at the University of Adelaide, building on Henneberg's original work, confirmed through high-resolution scanning that the similarity extends down to the microscopic level. The sweat pores, the tiny openings that dot each ridge, are spaced in nearly identical patterns in both species. This means the resemblance is not just skin-deep. It goes down to the smallest structures that forensic scientists use to make an identification. Now think about what this reveals in the bigger picture. Evolution does not care about your family tree. It does not respect species boundaries. It does not know that a koala and a human are supposed to be different. It cares about problems and solutions. When a problem is real enough, when the pressure to grip is strong enough, evolution will find the same answer again and again, no matter how far apart two creatures have drifted on the tree of life. Your fingerprints are not unique to your lineage. They are a solution, a physical answer to a physical question. How do you hold on when the surface is smooth and there is nothing else to grab? The same way it turns out, whether you are a primate swinging through the canopy in East Africa or a marsupial climbing a eucalyptus trunk in Queensland. There are roughly 8 billion people on Earth right now. Every single one of them has fingerprints. And somewhere in the forests of eastern Australia, there are millions of koalas carrying prints that could, under the right conditions, be mistaken for yours. You share a fingerprint pattern with an animal that sleeps 20 hours a day, eats poison for breakfast, and cannot recognize a food source unless it is still attached to the tree. Evolution built the same lock twice, on 2 separate continents, in 2 separate worlds, on 2 separate branches of the mammalian family tree that split apart 160 million years ago, and the key turned out to be exactly the same. So the next time you press your thumb against a scanner to unlock your phone or sign a document with your fingertip, just remember somewhere in a eucalyptus tree in Australia, a koala is gripping a branch with the same tool evolution gave you. Same ridges, same loops, same answer, different world.